What in the godforsaken time is it? What up, everybody? Welcome to the Milan Weekly Podcast channel. I'm Fabio today on our pregame chat, of course, with our lovely Patreons. We got John, we got Andon, we got Kim, we got Shane. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody feeling?
Good morning.
Perfect time for me. Not a problem for
I know
me.
you.
Yeah, it must be a
This
good
is
time for you, Kim. Is it?
Yeah,
What
it's
time?
9:47 at night.
Okay. It's not
all
so
right.
bad.
So
Yeah.
that's prime
Perfect
time
time.
for Kim.
Prime
Nice,
time.
very nice.
2:30 kickoff.
Well, for us here on the East Coast of North America, it is 5:45 in the morning.
You see, that's me every week. Got to deal with it.
I don't know how you do it, Kim, but if
My
anybody
trade-off.
can reach inside Gio's bedroom and tickle his balls, wake him up, because he's supposed to be on here as well. It's
That might be why
2:45.
he's not here.
That could be.
I
That could
mean-
be. I know he was watching UFC last night, so he might have had a late night.
Oh,
But we'll
got
see if
no
Gio
chance.
wakes up and gets up with us. I know he's going to Disneyland later today, so we got to
Oh.
get him up and going. But I thank all you guys for taking time to come on. Obviously, because it's so early in the morning, I have to keep my volume composed. I'm sure some people who watch this later will be happy about that, so I'm not blowing out anybody's speakers. But John, let's start with you, man. Let me pull up the starting lineup because they put it out here. What's your opinion of what you see here, man? You see Mike, we got the back line of Florenzi. Kier's back with Tomori and Teo back on the left side as he's supposed to be. Loftus-Cheek, Tejani's there. God forbid we sit this guy for the way he's been playing. Pobega's got to start today. Benitez not ready. Pulisic, Giroud, and Leao. What's your opinion, man?
So, I mean, it's on paper, it's a strong lineup, isn't it? The only thing I'd say is that I would have liked Simic to have gone in instead of Kier, because I think Kier should be eased back in. Starting him from minute zero is really taking chances. Also, I think
Who
tomorrow
is this Simic you speak of?
Yeah. I think tomorrow's had a lot of game time as well. The guy deserves a bit of a break. And your point on Reindeer, come on, man, give this guy a break. Come on. He really, I mean, we looked at how many minutes he's done, and it's almost 90 minutes every single game. I would have liked Okafor, but did you guys hear the rumor that Okafor felt a bit of a twinge when he came off the pitch against Newcastle?
Only this fucking team can we have a guy play for like 8 minutes and he gets a fucking knock. I mean, this is just really unbelievable. But I would have liked to seen Okafor. Honestly, I thought they were going to give Giroud a rest and maybe start Jovic because he's, been having a bit of a good spell. I don't know. I mean, Andon, do you see this lineup? Is there anything that it's kind of hard with our back line with all the injuries we have, but would you have done anything different?
Yeah, of course, because I wouldn't have started Kiar. He hasn't been fit for about 2 months. He has trained like for 3 days straight, only like full training, and you're putting him on to play from the start. And this is how players got injured. This is how you fuck up the team. This is how you got more and more injuries. I don't know what's the problem with giving Simic or Bartesaghi a chance to play. Just play them. Ease Kiar into the game. Put him in the second half if you need to, but just not start them. Because what we have seen from Kiar this season, when he plays, he's going to play today, and after today, he's going to go missing for about a month or two. I don't know what's the problem. Maybe his time is completely sorry. Maybe his time is completely over. Maybe that's it for him, but this is classic Pioli going with the head against the wall. For the rest of the team, I can understand Pobega given Musa has some muscle fatigue. Benacer is coming back from an injury. There's no need to rush him. So the next OBN Kunis fell out of favor. So the next obvious choice is Pobega. I know a lot of people want Adli to play, but every time Adli plays and you give him a little bit more defensive duties, he makes a mistake. And so far, he has cost us like 4 or 5 goals. I don't blame him. He should not play in that position, but his plays cost us goals and points. So I can understand Pobega starting. For the rest, I'm okay with Giroud starting. He scored last time. Yes, Jovic is playing good, but I think he should be just continue to play like this. Put him from the bench to give us some energy in the second half, and have some options. Also, maybe enter, because last time we saw with the Newcastle game, those 3 subs change the game. Hopefully, if today is not going, he can make the same subs and make impact on the game, because this game and the next like 4 or 5 games, all of them are must-win games if we want to stabilize. We cannot allow ourselves to drop even a point because we already did too many mistakes. So hopefully today we can get the 3 points and move on to the next game.
You know what? I just want to see who is our actual subs. Okay, Bartazagi, Jimenez. All right, so we have some Primavera guys. Simic is there. Nisla is there. Adley, Benacer, Krunic, Romero, Chukwueze, Jovic, and Okafor. Well, Okafor's healthy enough to be on the bench. So, Shane O'Mac, my man, live from Spain. How you feeling with this lineup, man? What's your opinion?
Outside the lineup, excuse me, just coughing up a lung. Outside of the lineup, though, I think there should be more than enough quality on that team to beat Monza, right?
I would agree.
And that's what we should be looking at, right? Now, Kier, obviously, yeah, I think he is being rushed back because we would probably be playing the likes of Simic or someone like that.
I think Simic sees the field this game. I think there's no way around it. He has to. You cannot expect Kier has a full 90 in his legs.
Yeah, well, especially because there's no defensive solidity in that midfield. Like Pobega, maybe admittedly a tiny bit more so than Reindeers or Loftus-Cheek, but consistently, like all through this season, we've seen it multiple times, right? Where the likes of Reindeers, Loftus-Cheek, and then Musa, the 3 of them are on the pitch. None of them are, for the most part, providing anything defensively, and then we're wondering where we're getting ripped apart, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's absolutely fine if we're going forward, we're looking dangerous, but then if we're conceding more than we're scoring, right, what's the point?
Leao hasn't scored since week 5. Good Lord.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? Do you know one change I'd actually like to see here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd actually like to see Jovic on in place of Giroud.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. I don't think that's bad at all, honestly. Kim, you see this. Listen, first of all, we appreciate you getting this perfect time for you, but this is ungodly for us here on the East Coast. But what's your opinion of the lineup we are putting out today, man?
Oh, look, I have no issues with it. I mean, yeah, question mark is Kaya again rushed straight in. But hey, I'd rather see him there than put Berger in like they were going to say. And yeah, I think Jovic should have started. I mean, you've seen the last few games; he's earned it. And yeah, Reindeers. I'm sorry, he should have just stayed on the bench. The past few games, he's just been making these silly mistakes, especially against Newcastle. You've seen how many mistakes he got. He nearly cost us the fucking game. And I don't understand how he got man of the match as well.
Oh, no, never.
I don't know.
I don't understand. Seriously.
Yeah, that is a whole other thing in itself.
Game. He could have cost us round 16 if we had made it somehow, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I agree, man. But Reindeers is in there today. Very surprised. No Bennis there in the starting lineup. I thought he'd be healthy enough to go, but seems not. Good morning to our friend Timmy in Toronto. Timmy, I know it's early for you too, buddy. But yeah, honestly, I mean, I see this lineup, and my only just head scratching thing is the fact that Bennis there is not getting the start. I just thought he would get some minutes here. Here's a perfect time to sit Reindeers and play Benny. If you're gonna play Pobega, at least that fucking 3-5-2 lineup that they're supposed, or whatever it was, or 3-4-3. That was the rumor that they were gonna play Pobega as center back.
Well,
God, they moved away from that.
Fabio, I just don't want to be bad luck on this, but he was trained Pobega in defense. So if something happens and a player needs to be, what I'm worried about is that Simic won't come on, but Pobega will be moved to the back.
Oh, God, I hope
I know he was training with Pobega in defense yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, I believe it was yesterday. And I sent it to the group chat asking, is this a fucking joke in the New York City chat? But God bless our president Remo. He's trying to see all the bright sides as much as you can. He's a half glass full kind of guy. He kind of makes a good point, and a lot of us are extremely harsh on Pioli. He's kind of damned if he does, damned if he doesn't, with most of his choices that he makes. But how much weight do you put on this game now, being that we know our European outcome? John, do you think if we drop points here or drop all the points here that we're going to get back on this train of
Okay.
Pioli? Where are we going?
Okay, Fabio, we don't have any other competition until January. Please correct me if I am wrong. That means
we have, I believe,
Until
who are we
February.
playing
I'm pretty
Coppa
sure.
Italia in January?
Coppa Italia begins, I think, in January.
Yeah.
That's the other competition.
I'm
that
not
begins.
sure who we're
Wow.
playing first round.
So I'm with Andon's comment, which is I have looked at the next 4 fixtures. They're all with opposition that
They're
Milan,
all winnables. They're all winnable.
Milan
or
being
should
a
be.
serious so-called contender, top 4 club, as Pioli says, top 4, then we should absolutely beat them. And you're saying about are we too harsh on Pioli? I think he's given us so much ammunition this season alone to be harsh on him. But I've been saying Pioli out since last season, actually, because I saw the performances dropping last season. And Fabio, again, tell me if I'm wrong, but an early Pioli change with this squad, guys, come on, 10 players, 120 million euros spent, and we are in 3rd place, 9 points behind Inter. We've gone out of the Champions League. So we've achieved the objectives that Maldini was given last season, for God's sake.
I know. It's crazy because like Maldini, and shout out to that post yesterday, the could they put Maldini's picture any smaller? I mean, honestly, he's holding the Champions League trophy in the photo. At least you could tell there's some pettiness going on behind the scenes on that post of the happy birthday Milan yesterday. And good morning to my father. He's up early. I knew, Papa, you're up. Good morning, Milanese. He's up. And
Fabio, I just checked. There are Coppa Italia games on the 2nd of January. We're playing Cagliari.
Yeah, my favorite, Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So that's going to be, as you saw yesterday, they took a loss to Napoli after an outstanding Osimhen performance there to get Kvaratskhelia, whatever his name is, on the board. Crazy assist. If you haven't seen it, go check the highlights from yesterday. Really, really good. But yeah, I mean, when I look at it, are we too harsh on Pioli? Tim makes a good point, right? He says we're going to see Benacer in the second half, right? He wants to ease him in, unlike Kier, which makes no sense whatsoever. So it's just these kind of thought processes make us wonder, like, are we being too harsh on him? We're sitting in 3rd place. I think the reason why some of us feel a certain way about
Andon, get in there, Andon.
Yeah, I think the reason why we feel this way is just because of the start. The first 8 weeks of the season, we won 7 out of the 8. We were feeling completely different. Even me, I kept thinking, maybe this is a special season, but holy shit, did we go off the roller coaster really fast? So, Andon, what's your opinion, man?
I mean, playing Musa at right back and Krunic at center back shows the story, shows that he lost the plot, shows that he doesn't know what he is doing. Even the rumors that he tried at training the 3-4-3 with Pobega as a center back shows you how lost he is. He doesn't have controls over the players. He doesn't know how to set up the tactics. He doesn't know what he's doing on the field. A lot of we're seeing after those first 7 games, we're seeing the same problems what we saw last season. Players just don't know what to do on the field. They are just said play on that position, but they don't have a concrete instruction how to play that position and what to do in that position. And this comes from Pioli's stubbornness. He knew in the summer that he needed a defensive center mid. What he did, he didn't get one. Because all the players he got by his instructions. He got players that can run. He got players that can dribble the ball. He got players that can move forward. Great. That's what we were missing last season. But what he forgot is to get a one defensive center mid that would be that glue and that would not leave that space open in, in the middle. So we're not too harsh on Pioli. Everybody can see Pioli overreached his stay here. Pioli not just did his maximum, he overdid his maximum. This is overachieving him winning a title with this team because Pioli is not a great tactician. Pioli is not a great manager. Pioli is an okay manager that, given the circumstances and some luck, can win a title. But that's it. That's it. He has done his part. Take him, give him his thanks. He brought us a Scudetto after a long time. He brought us the 19. Now it's time to move on from him. Just if it was me, I would even sack him last season after those horrendous two results against Sassuolo and Lazio. Then was the time it should have happened. But now, okay, I can understand. They want to wait until the summer. They want to see if in the summer there are some options they can look at and get a proper coach. But still, every second Pioli stays at the club, it limits and damages the club because this season we have a very, very good squad. We have much better squad. Not to go past the Champions League group stage. We have much better squad. Not to be third and to be 9 points behind Inter, and everything that's happening with all those injuries. Because all those injuries are coming from Pioli training methods, from Pioli coaching staff, and the rumor was he didn't want to sack anybody. He didn't want to do anything to take some responsibilities. So no, we're not too harsh on Pioli. We're even too light with him, but we have to make it till the summer with him. Hopefully he won't screw this up. Hopefully he will get a top 4 spot because I think there is a chance. There is a still chance to get back in the Scudetto, but for that to happen, we need to have that COVID run when we won a bunch of games in a row. Because Juventus drop points, they're gonna drop more points. Inter, especially in the second half in the season, they usually drop their points there. But now it's up to Milan, especially without the Champions League, to try to win every game and to try to get back on track. And in the summer, just say goodbye to Pioli, get another coach early in the summer after the season ends, get new training staff, new athletic team, and get prepared. Make a couple of good transfers and go in the next season strong and compete on all fronts. Because we cannot forgive another season next season if we don't make a deep run in the Champions League. That's not forgivable.
But let's be honest, guys. Every time we're ready to throw the dirt on Pioli in the grave, this guy comes alive like Frankenstein.
Man. He's Houdini reincarnated.
He really is. He really is, man. Shane, so do you think we've been too harsh on Pioli? I mean, maybe he should have got the axe after last season, but kind of hard when he just wins you a Scudetto, his first one of his career, our first in 10 years, 11 years, actually. So I don't know, man. January, Tim puts a good point. We got January. This January, we should expect some actual reinforcements, not bogus transfers like we've been getting in the last couple of years. So what's your opinion about the state right now? Did Pioli save his job by winning us that game against Newcastle? What's your opinion? Would you rather see him gone? Is it a 100% we're going to see him gone in June? What's your opinion, man?
So I am definitely Pioli out, right? Now, but here's the thing. I think this has been Pioli's biggest failing this season for me. And it's over what happened in the transfer window in the summer. And it's pretty much going back to what Andon said about we got Musa in. Let's focus. Okay, so the right wing, right, we did really well in. Right, so we got rid of Messias, we got rid of Salamakers, and then we got in Chukwueze and we got in, I guess, Pulisic, right? And we also got in Romero, which, I mean, that's a jump in quality there. Not dismissing that. But when you look at the centre midfield, knowing that we had Benacer out for months, right? And then they go off and they buy 3 very similar type players that are more attacking minded, right? There is no balance in that team. Furlani is he's not from a football background, right? He's used to balance sheets and he's a fan, but he doesn't understand the complexity of having a balanced team, right? So then that's down to Pioli to be able to advise him, right? And kind of say, okay, so we need defensive balance here, right? And I haven't been given it, right? And so we've been failing ever since, basically, because of that. So when it becomes a thing of why I'm Pioli out basically because we have a yes man. But when I look at the objectives that I'm assuming that he's been given, I'm not convinced that we're going to see him we're not going to see him exit. Because if you look at the way that we've been playing, right, the Champions League, right, that was a difficult group, right? That was a difficult group, and I'm not making excuses. That was a difficult group, right?
Besides the fact that the referees have to help PSG with the game against Newcastle, if that doesn't go their way, we could be looking at being in the next round.
We can't use that as an excuse, because look, at the end of the day, we should have, there was we should have.
Didn't ADL said if you're not cheating, you're not trying, right?
Well, true, but we should have beaten Newcastle in the first game, and then PSG getting help with penalties. No one would have cared.
Buongiorno, Mark. Right? Buongiorno.
So going back then to why Pioli should go, because it's obvious that he's literally he's a yes man, which we already know, right? But when it's your job to be able to weigh in on what you need in terms of characteristics of players, and you're making such a blatant mistake as not having defensive solidity in the midfield, which is probably, I don't know, 80% of the game. This is a huge red flag here, right? But as to why I don't think he'll go, I think these are probably the objectives that he was given at the start of the season. When you look at the league, right, who we dropped points to, right? There was Lecce, right, which was obviously that. All right, okay. There was Udinese.
Is the most atrocious one because we gave them their first win, and that's what I fear come next week. Their only win still.
True.
I just want to mention this one thing. Maybe Pioli ran out of his anytime minutes. I don't know if you guys remember, but Pioli was on the phone with everybody. Maybe he had that calling card, and he ran out of minutes, and he couldn't reach the central defender that he needed, the central defensive midfielder. So maybe he got stuck with who he got. It's just, again, if you're the coach, now, Timmy, I don't know if Timmy's trolling us here with this question here about Ten Hag if he gets fired today, but absolutely not. No way. If he's struggling so much at United, no way. But I would just go back into this idea. If you're the coach and you have a style you want to play, shouldn't you identify pretty early the players that you need? Did you think Krunic was going to be a starter as your defensive midfielder? But even then, there's no backup to that role. So, you could have made some purchases that would have made sense. Obviously, Loftus-Cheek was an idea that was left over from Maldini, and they moved forward with it. But some of the other players, it just doesn't seem like he had that much say in purchasing them. Or maybe he thought, we'll just buy as many midfielders to replace the fact that we got rid of Tonali. We were going to have Benacer out for half the season. Let's just buy anybody, whoever we can get for a discounted deal.
Here's the thing, though, just to finish what I was saying. So I do not think that we are built to be a Champions League team or a team that's capable of winning the Serie A.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong there. I mean, the standings and the outcomes,
the objectives. So that's
listen, last year, according to Maldini, the requirements for the season were just to get at least into the Europa League stage. So finish at least third in your group. So at least you continue playing and try to make a long run in that form. Okay, fine. That's where we sit this year. So is it going to be a failure for Pioli in the end? I guess depends. If he doesn't even make the round of 16, maybe it's going to be putting more pressure, but it's probably a bad idea to change coach in the middle of the season unless you have a real idea of bringing somebody in early. I would rather say if the season starts to go off the rails, do not wait. You need to get rid of him and identify who's your next step sooner than later, because the longer you wait, it gives you the opportunity to lose that potential person to somebody else who will go and snatch them up early. But Kim, what's your opinion of Pioli right now, man?
I mean, look, I want him gone as well, but the question is, who are we going to get? who we even got lined up. Like, we're not going to promote Abate because we know how that's gone down. Promoting Primavera coaches.
I wonder,
That's
the
gone
Primavera
well.
was winning 1-0 this morning. I wonder how they're doing right now.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. I mean, look, Pioli. I mean, remember when we hired him? He was only for a short term that time after Giampaolo, and he just, yeah, I think he definitely overachieved for sure. But yeah, that's my take. I just want to know who we're actually going for. We need to have someone lined up, not just panic about it like we always have.
Yeah, that's true. But it would be nice to know what we're doing next. But I think again, this guy is he's like a zombie, man. He just keeps coming back to life. Every time we think we got him or he's on the hot seat, he gets the team somehow, some way to come back alive. So let's focus back on Monza. Monza's not in a bad position. They're sitting in 9th place. They need these 3 points as much as we do. Obviously, with Napoli winning yesterday, let me take a look at the table real quick. They should. They're only 2 points behind us now. Of course, Roma still has to play. So if we, God forbid, don't win this game, Roma could potentially only be 1 point behind us.
Is Roma playing Bologna?
That is a good question. Hold on.
Because
So,
I think they're also doing well.
Yes,
Right.
Bologna and
They're also
Thiago
close, aren't
Motta's team has been playing really well. So
Mm.
that's going to be a tough matchup. But if Mourinho's men can get themselves on track, there's another team that'll be right up our ass. And we can't afford to keep dropping points. I think it's been a miracle. We're still sitting in 3rd place the way we've been over the past couple of weeks. So let's turn our attention here to Monza. So we see the lineup: Johnny Boy, Lab Gorilla. Who's the person you're looking out for? For lack of a better word, we're going to say, who's your dark horse of the starting 11 that you need to see something really big from?
All right. Dark horse. So I don't want to be obvious. I'm going to try. If I had to put money, and I am a gambling man, if I had to put money on someone to score a goal today who's a bit left field, I'd go Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Okay, I'll got a bit of a challenge.
Wow.
Just to give you an idea, Monza 5.75 to 1 to win the game. Milan are heavy favourites at 1.53 to 1, and the draw is 4 to 1. So I won't lie and tell you I've put a cheeky bet on Monza, just in case we get shafted.
I like that you emotionally hedge your bet. That's
I have to.
So even if Milan disappoints you, you're still gonna win some money. I like that. I like that. Loftus-Cheek, though, very, very encouraging idea because he could really use a goal and a game because it's been a minute for him. He's ever since that PSG game, he just hasn't looked like himself. Honestly, I don't know whether he has a nagging injury or if he's just not in form. But I like that one. Andon, who would be your dark horse of this starting 11 that you want to see something from?
I mean, one obvious answer is maybe Reindeers. Also, he got the man of the match, but he hasn't been playing that good in the last couple of games. So again, this game maybe score another goal because he had so many chances from the start of the season. If he even made like 50% out of them, now he would be like our top 3 scorer.
Oh yeah.
So hopefully this game he can score another goal, get his confidence a little bit back slowly, and from here on out, when he gets into scoring opportunities, to score a couple of goals here and there, and maybe get to a tally till 10 till the end of the season. I think that will be realistic, given the circumstances. How many times he gets himself into a scoring position. But what I'm really worried about, like always, is the defense. They look very, 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 very shaky every time we play. We're conceding stupid goals from stupid individual mistakes. Especially our fullbacks are playing horrendous. So hopefully we can see great games from Teo and Florenzi as well. I hope they can be a little bit more stable and provide the support our wingers need so we can be more dangerous up front.
No, I agree. I mean, one of the people that have looked shaky is Calabria, and he's not going to be there. Is Calabria available for the next game as well, or?
Yeah.
He is,
I
right?
think he's available. Yeah.
I think it's just one suspended game. Okay, I like where you're going with that. Reindeer's honestly, I would like to see what the over under on goals for the season realistically will be for him. He has one so far, so would like 3 be too much? That's probably too much the way we're going. I don't think he'll hit over 3. If we're lucky, he hits 3. But Shane, who's your dark horse of this game, man?
It's not as much a dark horse because we all know he is quality, but he seriously needs to wake up a bit. So it's Leao has to shine right now because he's going to be so important for the running at the end of
I
the
agree.
season. Like as soon as he comes on form, I mean, he's capable of winning games himself. So I mean, he just really needs to pull it out the hat today. A few good months from Leao, we could find ourselves in the Europa League final. We could find ourselves hopefully, top 2, top 3. Um, just one quick thing I just want to mention here because I don't
Yeah.
think people are thinking about this, right? So in terms of us, potentially, let's say we have a good run in the Europa League, right? In
Mhm.
terms of potential prize money, the maximum is around 30 million, I believe, right? And that's if we go through and we win it, right? If we, not that we had the quality to do it, but if we got through to, like, let's say, if we won the Champions League this year, we get about 90, right? So 90 million. So the problem is that I still think we're still, even with a good run into the Europa League, just to balance ourselves in for the summer, we're going to end up having to lose a good player.
Well, I guess everybody's echoing that as well. It seems to be. I think even some comments for Lonnie made like a few weeks ago kind of gave that sentiment as well. But let's hold off our judgment. I mean, let's not be insane because we all know how everybody was in June of this year. If we do have to
I mean,
sell a
listen,
player,
if we
Mhm.
have to sell and we deal with the money like we did this season, I don't mind because we use the Tonali money exceptionally. We put them to good use. As long as we use the money properly, besides selling, let's say, Leao and Teo for now, anybody else would be okay to sell and use that money properly for next season.
I, I
Only in that case.
I would just say, and I've been saying this pretty much from the jump in regards to even Tonali, if your team has to sell players to reinvest, to also bring extra money in, to turn around to re-bolster the whole roster, it's fine as long as they don't touch the number one spot. And Leao is our number one, hands above. And well, I guess 1B would be Mignon because there's not many top flight goalkeepers the way he is. His issue's more if he can not necessarily stay healthy the entire time. And now his salary is being projected to be a pretty high number regarding to Milan, which
But it should be, right?
honestly it should be. I mean, and you can't keep nickel and diming your players because eventually they're not going to want to stay. They're going to go to greener pastures, and by greener, you know what I mean. So pay the guy what he deserves. Like, look, we've evaluated the right wing. Stevie kept saying, "Get me a fucking right wing." They gave us 2, okay, and a backup left back at that backup left wing for Leao as well. So please, let's if you're gonna sell one of the players and then turn around and give us a central defensive midfielder, another center back, a right back, and a striker for the future, how can you complain? But I'm sure somebody out there will complain. People complain still about Galliani and fucking from 10 years ago, so they'll find something to complain about. But Kim, who's your dark horse of this particular lineup, man? Who do you want to see something from?
Well, I need to see Taylor do something. I mean, the last few games, I mean, we saw the last game against Newcastle. You just see that halfway shot he tried to take and that smug face he made. It was like, come on now. You can't be doing that shit. He completely fucked it. That pissed me off as well. And I don't know, he just doesn't seem interested
I
or
know he has that face that face
Yeah.
that makes you look like, what the fuck are you
And
doing, man? Are you taking this
maybe
seriously?
when-
The
and-
shots you take, and I'm sorry, Dale can put in a nice cross occasionally, but his passes out of the back were horrendous,
Mm,
awful, awful. You think this guy would practice as a center back, passing the ball out, trying to distribute? He was terrible, awful. I'm sorry. You can write it in the chat. Tell me I'm an idiot. I don't care. I know my two eyes, and they tell me put him back on the left side, and please let him overlap with layout. Otherwise, he is useless as well.
And he just needs to stop spending all his time on the ground complaining. Like, get up. I don't want to see him do that shit anymore. That's just been irritating me as well about him.
Good morning. Better late
Hey,
than
fellas.
never. How you doing, man?
Hey. Good. How
What's
about
going on,
yourself?
All right. We're just
Mate,
kind of
I'm
talking
keen for this
about
game.
good. Who do you think is going to be your dark horse, man?
I reckon Chukwueze will score 2 goals. That's my dark horse.
All right. You
What
got
a
that
game.
McDonald's Wi-Fi going right now. You must be hanging out at Gio's house.
Oh, sorry, fellas.
No, it's
Sorry.
all good. It's all good. Listen, Nick, we're gonna go around here on what our predictions are before the game starts. So, what's your prediction, man? Give us your goal score.
I reckon 3-1. I reckon Chukwueze 2 goals and Leao the other.
Very nice. All right, three goals, 2 from Chook and from Leao. I like it. Lab Gorilla, what's your prediction here, man? And give us your goal scores.
Yeah, I think 2-1 to us. Actually, now that Kim said about Hernandez, I've just looked him up. It's 17-1 for first goal scorer. A little bit of money placed on there. No, thank you very much. But yeah, I've got Ruben Loftus-Cheek to score, and I'm hoping Leao puts a goal in today. And for them, I think Colombo will score.
Oof. Yeah, you know what? I was just gonna think about that. He's gonna get something on it on his parent club here. Andon, what's your prediction? Give us your goal score here, man.
Yeah, I'm looking at a 3-1 victory as well. I'm looking at probably Jovic continuing his goal scoring form. I think he needs it for the confidence, and if he wants us not to get another striker in the January market, he needs to score consistently in the next few games. So I'm looking that from him also. As I said, Leao hasn't scored since round 5, something like that. A goal from him,
Yeah.
and maybe one of the midfielders, either Ruben Loftus and Rangers.
All right. That's hopeful. And you know how I feel about reindeers. Shane, I just listen. You and John spend so much time with Husney, and nobody has the balls to predict a loss. What say you, my man?
No, there's more than enough quality, I think, for us to beat Monza. I'm confident. I don't think it's going to be like two clear goals though. I can see us struggling quite a bit, right? Because I think Monza will just be counter-attacking the fuck out of us, right? And again, we can't defend these days. So I'd say it's going to be like 2-1. I think it's going to be Leao. And again, just because I like the fact that Jovic is starting to chip in with goals now. And I do want it to work out for him. So if he comes on and if he scores, I'd be happy. So 2-1. Yeah, we'll send it.
You know what? I can echo your sentiments. I'm starting to grow. Jovic is starting to grow on me. He's definitely no Origi, who we might have a threat of coming back to us because I don't think they want him over there in England, so he might come back. But Kim, what's your prediction, man? Who's your goal scorers?
I'm gonna go 4-1 to us.
Yeah, 4-1. My God.
Yeah. I want to see Leao get on there and Jovic come off the bench and have one as well to keep up his confidence.
And who's the other two?
The other two, we'll go
I mean, you went
Pulisic.
4.
Huh?
You went 4.
Pulisic and Loftus-Cheek.
All right, I like it. Spread it around. The love and poor Giroud's just there. He's the cadaver on the field. He doesn't even get one. All right. Well, listen, I'm gonna just say this. My dark horse is the guy who's getting immediately thrust into the lineup, despite the fact that he's had a fucking injury from God knows what. Maybe he scratched his ass too hard. But please, Kier, do not look old and slow. I don't know how you're old and slow. I'm like 5 years older than you. This is very upsetting. All right, my man. Please go out there, put a good defensive performance. Please play tight with Tamori. Play well. Look at it. The Corvus Sword is in full fashion right now. They're looking great. The stadium is packed. Let's go. I'm expecting a indigestion type morning. All right. I'm expecting 1-0 with a goal from Captain America. Yeah, damn right. That's who we're going with. It's going to be 1-0 Milan because we're going to sweat. Where my head is, I'm going to start losing hair. I'm going to look like Galliani by the end of the game. But guys, I thank you all so much for waking up and being here with it. Waking up. I think I'm the only one who actually.
Yeah, thank you, Fabio. Thank you.
Thank you.
Honestly, guys, I appreciate you for being here.
Thank you.
If you all haven't already and you've stumbled upon us somehow, please do us a solid. Subscribe to our channel, the Milan Weekly Podcast. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you're up to date with all of our videos. Please smash that like button. And if you want to be a part of a great community, join our Patreon. Find us on Patreon at Milan Weekly Podcast. And you could be one of these handsome gentlemen here and also female Patreons that we have as well. Join it. This is the point. When you help our channel and you subscribe to us on Patreon, we give you a moment to hop on and be a part of it because we want to know what you guys have to say and be there for you when we all need therapy, which when you're a Milan fan, you need a lot of therapy. So thank you for joining this ASMR version of the Patreon chat with me because I can't be too loud. But guys, they're walking out of the tunnel and we all must assume our position. Hey, yo, pause. Gio, wake up. Stop scratching your balls. Guys, thank you all for joining us and we'll see you next time. Ovunque e sempre.
Forza Milan.
Forza
Everybody,
Milan.
good night.
Yeah.